Welcome to Therapy Explained, where we explain, demystify, and destigmatize mental health and mental health treatment. My name is Deniss. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and your very own mental health cheerleader. Today, we're going to be talking about how to step into emotionally intelligent leadership. Now, part of my work and one of my favorite things to do is to talk about workplace mental health. I have a whole workshop that I have also developed that is parallel to this video. Of course, it goes in much deeper than today's video, but today we will just be introducing the idea of emotional intelligent leadership and what are some steps that we can take to get started to get us closer to that. So without further ado, remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already for more videos on all things mental health, and give this video a thumbs up if you feel that you learned something or if you found it useful at any point. So again, let's just go ahead and jump into it. As always, let's get on the same page about what we're talking about. What is emotionally intelligent leadership in the first place? An emotionally intelligent leader doesn't just assign tasks, but rather helps their employees or the people that they manage and supervise learn how to develop that internal motivation. They see and understand that the people that work beneath them in terms of the hierarchical structure are actually not beneath them in any other way and are themselves a whole person. Their experiences outside of work are going to be affecting the way that they show up at work. And while it is not a leader or a manager's responsibility to support or carry the emotional load for the people that work for them, it does as well as leaders, as managers, to at least provide our employees with that kind of support that they need. When we build a safe space at work, people feel safe and comfortable and naturally on their own give us the best work that they can because they feel safe in doing so. And an emotionally intelligent leader understands that. They also have self-knowledge and self-awareness about the things that they need and what their limits are, so that when things come up at work, they're able to manage their own feelings, use their own supports, and model and teach that to their employees and the people that they supervise. This is much different than just being a manager, because a manager, an owner, a boss just hands things, just gives tasks, just tells people what to do, and doesn't really pay attention to the person that they're talking to. And that kind of management is just no longer working. People are much more emotionally intelligent themselves. People are gathering information about mental health and wellness and self-advocacy. People are waking up, and the old way of managing people, of just assigning tasks and expecting them to leave their personal lives at the door, just does not work anymore. So I think emotionally intelligent leadership is important, it's useful, and it really in the long run helps both the employee and the employer in creating a safe, wonderful place to work, which I think we all would like. So how do we go about building that safe place to work? Build the safety. When we say we want a safe place to work, yes, in terms of like physically safe, but also an emotionally safe space to be at, where people are motivated and encouraged to share ideas, to be innovative and creative in the work that they do, to problem solve. And in order to get all that good stuff from the people that we supervise or manage, we have to model that space and build that space to begin with. We do that by listening. When we really listen to what someone is telling us, they will feel heard. Sometimes just repeating what they have said and making sure that we understand the things that they're telling us, acknowledging the things that they're telling us, is going to help that person feel seen and heard. if we don't understand where they're coming from or what they're trying to say, we also want to ask clarifying questions. And this goes for everything. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you have to ask them about every detail of their lives. Not everyone even wants to share that much about their personal life at work anyway. But even if something is coming up at work or they're having struggles with something, it's not about saying, well, you have to figure this out, but okay, tell me more about the problem or about the stress or about what's coming up for you. Tell me so that I can understand and then help you problem solve it. It's also helpful for us to remember that the people that we manage or supervise are well-meaning. The more that we give them the benefit of the doubt, the easier it will be for both of us. And most of the time, the people that work for us or the people that we supervise or manage are not out to get us. So the more that we remember that, the easier it will be to address issues as they come up. So when something comes up, it's not about thinking, oh, you just don't want to work, you're just too lazy, you just don't want to be here. Those are the moments in which we should ask more questions. What's coming up? What's difficult about that? What is challenging for you? And how can we come up with ways together that can make things easier for you to manage? And so again, coming together to problem solve requires the listening, the understanding, the asking questions, and giving that person the benefit of the doubt. That is how we communicate to them, hey, I'm a safe person. When something comes up, we talk about it. There's no need to lie. There's no need to pretend that things aren't happening. We can really address things head on, together, clearly, openly, and honestly. Transparency. Now, being transparent with the people that you manage or the people that work for you does not mean that you have to give them every detail about what's going on in the background of work and the decisions that need to be made. But if somebody's making a request or asking of something, being honest with them and being able to say, that's not something that's possible right now, this isn't something that we're going to be able to do, being honest with them helps. Mostly because the people that work for us and the people that we supervise know what's going on. They might not know the details, but they know when someone is lying, and they have a pretty good idea, if they've been working there for a while too, how things work. And if they're making a request or asking a question and they're being given the runaround, it doesn't feel like a safe space. It doesn't feel like a place where they can trust the management team or the leadership team, because they feel like if they make a request, if I ask a question, then I'm not going to be told the truth, and that will erode at the trust that that person has for you. So what we want to try to do is to be as transparent as possible. Again, you don't have to explain your decision making or even tell them what's going on in the background, but just being able to say that's not possible, yes or no, very clearly what the expectations are, what the possibilities are, and what the limits are of whatever is affecting them. That builds trust, because they know that when they come to you, they will be given honest answers, even if you aren't able to tell them everything, maybe even telling them that, I'm really sorry, I can't give you any details. However, here is the answer to the question that you're asking, right? Or here's the most that I can give you in terms of the question that you are asking me. Again, if you don't know the answer, you can also say that and just say, I'm sorry, I'm not aware of this policy. I'm not aware of the answer for this question, but I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to ask and I'll get back to you. And again, that humanizes you into being someone who doesn't have all the answers, but someone who listens and understands what's important to them, and that you are willing to advocate for them, to follow up for them in an issue or a question that's important to them. Boundaries. And I put this one right after transparency because I want to make sure that that's very clear. We can be transparent and we can be honest, but we still need to have very clear and firm boundaries at work. Knowing that the people that we supervise or the people that work for us are not our friends. Even if we like them very much, even if we probably would be friends outside of work, we have to try to remember, if we're an emotionally intelligent leader, that that person is not our friend as much as we like them. And the reason for that is because if we start creating a friend-like relationship, while that might at first feel like kind of nice, at some point, because you are in leadership, you're going to have to make decisions that might not fully benefit the person who is your friend, or will probably in some way negatively affect them, whether that's maybe cutting projects, cutting hours, reassigning projects, and that person's going to feel, wow, I thought you were my friend. Or it might be the other way around, where something is affecting you and you feel then that this person, because they're your friend, they should be helping you. Sometimes we cross boundaries without realizing it. We might be asking these friends at work to help us out with certain tasks that are not their job, but we feel like we're allowed to because they're our friends. And so having these firm boundaries around the relationship is crucial and important so that we're not abusing or hurting one another when we really are at work. Because at the end of the day, if you're in leadership, if you're in management, you're gonna have to make decisions as a manager that might affect that personal relationship that you might have with them. Build self-awareness. Lastly, it is so important for us to have self-awareness. If we are in individual therapy, this is golden. This is going to serve us very well to be an emotionally intelligent leader because we are aware of our limits, our needs, our triggers at work. And we will also be learning how to manage them so that we're not affecting other people negatively and we can still be a safe person at work for the people that we support and manage. If you're not in individual therapy, maybe this is a good time to get started. If therapy is still something that you're not quite sure about, engaging in self-reflection is still important. And you can do that by literally just sitting here and reflecting on your day. What happened? What were the interactions that you had? What were the feelings around these interactions? And where do you think they might be coming from? If you want something a little bit more active, things like journaling can be helpful. This is why keeping a diary, keeping a journal about what's going on every day will help us build that self-reflection and self-awareness. If you talk about it, if you reflect on what's going on, you can also identify patterns. And then you realize, oh, wow, I realized that when someone brings up this particular topic, that's very uncomfortable for me and I feel a certain type of way, or when somebody talks to me a certain way, or maybe even a particular person that I talk to makes me feel a certain way. And engaging in that self-reflection and realizing, oh, okay, that's what I need at work. That's what I need in my relationships, and learning how to ask for these things or set up systems for yourself so that those needs are being met at work will serve you as a leader as well. And remember that the difference between being a leader and being like a manager, just a boss, a leadership inspires motivation in the people that they manage and support. That's the key word. Leaders support, leaders motivate. Emotionally intelligent leaders get the best out of the people that they support and manage, not because they push them, ride them, or burn them out, but because they inspire them to do that. And the people that end up working for you or the people that you manage will feel that and will also not feel burnt out. They will genuinely give you these things. Won't necessarily have to go like above and beyond, but whatever their task, whatever their project, will be the best that they can do because they feel inspired, motivated, and supported in the work that they do. At the end of the day, this helps you, this helps them, and both parties, all parties, will be less stressed. We won't have to micromanage people because they're internally motivated. Emotionally intelligent leadership helps everyone, and I encourage you to start on that process. One last thing that I didn't put on my list, but again, the job here is not for you to become your employees or the people that you manage and support. You don't have to become their therapist. If something does come up as you're asking them how their week was, or they're bringing something up outside of work, identifying like, oh, hey, this is probably something that you could use more support in. Here's a referral to the EAP program that we have here at work, or other counseling or mental health services that you can get through work, or maybe even outside of work, and encouraging people to get the support that they need. That's who you are, right? That first kind of step or that first contact to the other referrals and resources that they need. You don't have to do everything for them. If they need HR stuff, if they need time management stuff, and there's other people that can help them with that, encourage them to seek that support from other people. You don't have to carry it, but checking in on them and knowing what's going on, knowing their whole kind of what is affecting them and getting them to know them as human beings will help you in the long run as well. I hope that today's video got you inspired to become more of an intelligent leader. If you found it useful, again, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for all things mental health, and remember, as always, I'm cheering for you.